Nation.
Let's go.
You, Jake boy, tell him.
This is the DNVR Pregame Show, the final DNVR Pregame Show for the season. The Buffs taking on Utah tomorrow in Salt Lake. And
I just got a pain in my chest when you said that, man.
Yep. It's a sad day.
It's like, should we do it for some basketball games just to,
you gotta do something.
to hang out?
Yeah, let's do something, man. It is, man. It's the last game.
It's crazy.
The last pregame show of the last game.
I know.
Luckily, we have a postgame show, though.
We do.
That is true.
So I get to see you guys again.
I really shouldn't have chose college football as my favorite sport because it's just the season just goes by so quick.
It's brutal, man.
And then the off season is so long.
Then at the same time, though, like if you're the equivalent of 4 and 7 in baseball, and you have like 50 games left,
there's a lot of baseball games.
It's terrible.
Man. That is true.
Baseball has too many games.
A lot of sports have too many games.
So Utah is just as weird as you think it would be.
I'm trying to tell you guys.
Yeah, I didn't believe you, Jake, but this is my first time to Utah. And, yeah, it's Utah.
Yeah.
It's as Utah can be. I think Ryan Green, our videographer, said it best. He said that Utah is like an NPC, but a city. Non-playable city.
Yeah.
And as he
Still
also
an NPC, I guess.
As he also put it, Pootah.
Yes.
He's been running puns all day, man.
That's what he does.
Yeah, he's a pun master.
Both of these guys, that's what they do.
You say I'm the king of analogies. He's the pun king. And I almost said porn king. I almost got tongue-tied, but pun king.
RG is like a volume shooter when it comes to puns. I'm more of an efficiency merchant.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's green light. He's just.
I was going to say, RG's pretty efficient with it, too.
No.
He's not.
Look, I'm going to argue on the side of his efficiency because he makes them, but he shoots from anywhere.
That's true.
Like, anywhere is within range. And you, my friend,
in Utah,
you pick your shots.
That's true. In Utah, he's like Jimmer Fredette. Just shoot from anywhere.
If he's on the court, he in range. One final game, man. Utah tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pac-12 Network. 1 p.m. Mountain, that is.
Yep.
3 p.m. Eastern.
We're still in the Mountain Time Zone, thankfully.
Still in the Mountain Time Zone, and we don't have a night game.
Yes.
I will say this, man. As a Mississippian guy from the South hanging out here with you guys, which is more than hanging out with you guys because I'm here, Utah is a different cold than Colorado.
It is.
30 in Boulder ain't cold. 30 here is cold.
Yeah. The cold is colding, as the kids would say.
I think you're higher up in Colorado. We're like 40 or 4,000 feet here.
So that
I love
extra
science.
1,000 feet towards the sun must really make a
guess
difference.
It must work because
It
I'm
does.
telling you, man, Boulder could be 28 and you can go outside with just a hoodie on. Here, I mean, it's cold, man.
I feel like we're giving the real spectrum of where we're from.
Yeah, you see me.
Colorado in a T-shirt, New Mexico for the most part in a hoodie, and Mississippi in winter clothing.
It's cold, man. Like, I got the beanie. It's cold.
It is cold. I'll give it to
And a little snow and little flurries out there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a chance of snow tomorrow, though.
No, I think we're good.
I didn't go on the stadium visit. Turf field? Grass? What do they play on here?
I want to say turf.
I want to say turf as well.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, man, we got some guests that are going to drop by. That's why you see this headset here in this chair. So the last show won't just be us for the last pregame show of the season.
Yep.
Got a lot to get into.
We are at the team hotel.
We are.
Just couldn't really tell, but this is a good
nice wall behind us.
Good representation of Utah.
So let me tell the
Nice
audience
and
out there,
bland.
man, the philosophy of this joint operation. Rule 1 is don't be in the way. Cover the team, be inside, but don't be in the way. And the way this hotel is set up, if we could just look right there, which the camera can't, the food for the team dinner is like right there. We're in the mix, but you don't want to be in the middle of the chow line when the big boys come eat.
Yeah, that's
gotta
a
stay out
bad
of the
place to
way.
be. One last off-topic thing, kind of, before we jump in. Shout out to my second favorite black and gold school, even though they're kind of black and yellow, Iowa, for extending Nebraska's Power 5 longest bowl drought to 7 years. Thank you, Iowa. We appreciate you deeply.
Shout out Iowa.
I got to tell you something, man. On the plane ride this morning, when you picked us up, just pretty much the entire length of that game, I really enjoyed you enjoying Nebraska losing.
Yeah.
Like, you were happy, man.
It really does make me happy.
You were
Made
all
me
over
happy
it.
too.
It's like, I don't know, one one level lower than my team's winning is my enemies losing.
Man, you were happy. I loved it. I loved that you loved it.
And I wore my better dead than red for multiple reasons because, of course, rooting against Nebraska today and Utah's also red. Easy
and wasn't some guy out there, man, kind of atting a subtweeting or something saying, that they got a bowl and we didn't?
Yep, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they didn't get a bowl.
That guy's a clown.
That guy is a clown.
That's why I didn't say his name.
All right, we are presented by Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Sign up with the code BUFFS, BUFFS. Get $20 off your first purchase. I guess we start with practice.
Yeah.
How's it been?
Man, it was different this week because Thursday was Thanksgiving.
Right.
And Thursday was also a practice day. And so, again, you're traveling, and so that gives you that feel of a short week. Typically, just pretty much the entire season, not all of the season, but probably after the early part of the season, Shedeur would take a couple of days off just as part of the regular mechanics. Took well more than a couple of days off this week. So you had, different quarterbacks out there running the offense. And look good. Practice was still upbeat, up-tempo. One thing that Coach Prime has done the past few weeks is ended practice on some kind of team challenge, like some fun team-building kind of thing. And so we closed out the week with Coach Sal, Coach OB, a couple of strength and conditioning guys, Coach T-Rob. Some of the older guys had to race against each other. 50 yards.
Oh, God.
Who's the fastest? Anyone surprise you with their speed?
The distance to which Sal came in last surprised me.
Oh, no. I mean,
doing my guy dirty like that.
I thought it would be less of last. But
if you've seen Sal walk around, though, it makes sense.
That's why it's hilarious. And Coach Prime made him. He said Coach Prime made it a speed walk race.
There you go.
Nobody can run, just speed walk.
Well, because I was going to say I'm less concerned about the results of the race and more concerned about how are they feeling today.
Yeah, we traveled separately. We got here ahead of time, so I hadn't seen them today. But at the Thanksgiving dinner, which shout out to Chef Carl Solomon, man, his staff, wonderful Thanksgiving dinner for the team and their families, the staff and their families. Great spread. But back to practice, man, I thought, when you have to put things in context. I love that when you say that. Even with the record, you got to put it in context.
Perspective.
Yep.
Perspective.
That's Jake's word.
For this to be the last week of the season with seemingly nothing to play for and a holiday falls in pretty much the middle of practice week, I don't think you could ask for better. When you put it in context. But if you just looked at it is it week 1 or the third week of August? You could tell the season is worn on people and that it's over. But when you put it in context, people were paying attention to detail. Some guys out there getting reps that typically don't get reps. Some new installs because every time you play, you're playing a different defense and different individual talent, so you put in different things to learn. So interview Coach Flea, man, he may be joining us too as well. It's one of the things I'm looking forward to, Jake, watching practice is seeing if that run game is going to translate from practice to the real game.
Yep.
Just to address the question that's already popped up a million times.
Yep.
I don't know. We don't know if Shedeur is going to play for sure or not. And this is different from what I've been saying all week. But if I had to guess now, I would say no. That would be my prediction. I hope I'm wrong. I would love to see Shedeur out there. We all would.
Yeah.
But if I had to guess right now, I would say that he does not.
Yeah, I haven't heard an official word from Coach Prime to me or from trainers to me or from Shedeur to me. So I'm still going off what I'm hearing and seeing, which is game time decision. But if I had to take my football acumen and my experience in watching things develop based on what I saw at practice, my needle would point toward not.
Yep.
I mean, CU Buffs football posted on Instagram their trip to the plane or whatever. There's Travis or Shiloh, is all these guys, no Shedeur.
Someone in the comments said it did look like he traveled based off of social media, so maybe someone else's social media.
Yeah.
I checked his. I didn't see anything.
One, I will say this. Let's assume he's not going to play.
Okay.
One of the things I think it shows the world if he doesn't, everyone always tries to accuse Coach Prime of statting for
stat padding.
Stat padding for his son. The guy is 2 touchdown passes away from the season TD record.
I thought he got the season TD record.
No, he got the yardage.
You got the yards.
But it was on a TD.
Yeah, it's 1 to tie, and one would pass it. So he's 2 away from setting a new record. If you were a coach trying to pad stats for somebody, he would play it.
Yep.
You know, so if he doesn't, that's like another evidence point of like, it ain't like that. It ain't what y'all making it.
But also, if he does, it also has nothing to do with that.
No, because he's a competitor. He's a football player.
Exactly.
You know, but I would imagine that much like last week, even though the circumstances were a little squirrely there, that if he does, why would he play the whole game anyway?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if there are a couple guys on this team who are a big part of the future plans who are banged up, who don't play.
Absolutely.
And I don't have an issue with that.
You would have an issue with it, or a fan or a football person would have an issue with it if this was a win that was getting you to a bowl game or a championship or something like that. But because this is literally the final game of the season and you have more than those people on your roster, why would you further turning what's a bang up into an injury, which could then impact August 31st of next year?
Yeah, and that's exactly it.
You start the resting and the healing as soon as you can.
And the whole 5-7 bowl thing is so convoluted. No one knows the answer. I mean, I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus, but I talked to people who I thought would know the answer, and they didn't know the answer.
Yep.
So,
well, the first check mark is you got to have a deficiency in teams that are 6-6.
Yep.
Like you got to have more bowl games than you have break-even records. Then it goes to APR.
Yep.
And I know we got good grades and that kind of thing, but it's one of those things where there's so many benchmarks to it. You don't chase that, man.
But there's also conflicting reports out there as to whether it is a ranking of APR, meaning the team that's 5-7 that has the highest APR goes in automatically,
Or a benchmark.
or is it if you clear a certain number, then the Bulls can pick. Knowing what I know, at one point it was the ranking.
I thought it was,
but
too.
there are people who I've talked to who have said that has since changed. It's now up to the Bulls. And the reason I would guess that is because some Bowl got stuck with a team that has no fans from all the way across the country that didn't even want to go.
Well, clearly that was the case. A Coach Prime team would be in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's the hard part of all this. But obviously you're playing to win. You're always playing to win. And
let me say this wrong, Arcade Jake, which I should have said earlier when you asked about practice. I saw no evidence in practice from coaching, from scheming, from player effort that we weren't practicing to win.
No, and if you're going to set foot on the field, you damn well be better playing to win. But you also have to be smart. And this happens in every sport,
every level,
at every level. If you are a big part of the team and your fate is sealed, then you have to make tough decisions as a coaching staff. What
you see happen in the NFL in preseason is what you see happen in college football at the end of a season.
Yep.
It's like, all right, y'all, let's get some evaluation going. Let's get some other guys some opportunities, because that's what we're looking at.
And I'm also looking forward to see if there's any guys who go out there and play that haven't played so far this season, because you have guys who are redshirting who, a lot of times you see this in a bowl game where you bring in guys and you let them play in the bowl game to get some reps, get some film before the next season. So there might be some young players out there that get a chance tomorrow that we haven't seen yet.
Absolutely.
Which is exciting.
And that's what I meant by evaluation. Good breakdown on that. It's game time. Hey, no pun intended, but shout out to game time again.
Big shout out.
It's game time reps, not practice reps. You get to see people before the semester ends, before the season ends, before portal opens and all that kind of stuff. Playing to win, scheming to win, working to win. But there's a high premium on that evaluation of what takes place, too, because there's a future to look out for.
It does feel like there might be an opportunity here this weekend, though. I mean, Utah's on their 4th or 5th string quarterback. Their best pass rushers out. They've obviously had a disappointing season, too. I understand, but at the same time, it's like, why not try and go out and shock the world, get a win, carry some momentum into the offseason?
Some of the things I saw at practice, I think that is the case. I think that schematically, there's some things going to take place that show, we're trying to win this damn game now.
Good.
So we talked about the challenge. Obviously, the challenge is the health and who may or may not play. But there's also something going for the Buffs, which you just alluded to a little bit. Utah is turning to their 5th string quarterback.
And the flu is running rampant through their team right now.
That is as big of a green light as you can get as a football team. Utah, obviously a much different program in terms of the maturity of their program. So they're going to have better depth than Colorado. That's just the way it is. They've been building a winning program here for a decade plus. And Coach Prime said it on Tuesday, but like, credit to Kyle Whittingham. He is a hell of a football coach. That being said, you saw what it looked like, the drop off from Colorado's starter to their backup. The drop-off from Cam Rising to, what's this guy's name? Luke?
Number 5. Not number 5 jersey, but number 5 in the QB room. QB5.
Luke
Batari.
Batari, yes.
Sorry, apologies to the Batari family.
You got to go after him.
Yeah, Luke Batari, there's going to be a big drop-off from what they are used to. Here's the thing. Utah was always coming into this game trying to run the ball. It doesn't matter if it's Luke Batari or John Elway at quarterback for them. Their identity is to run the football. But if you're Colorado, you take this and say, we are dedicating all of our resources to stopping the run, and we are going to force this guy to beat us if he can.
Absolutely.
It's that simple. Like, it's that simple. Got a defensive player walking up now. You have to kind of be licking your chops and going, got to go after this guy. Like, got to make him move, got to make him feel it. Come on in, Cam.
All right, shout out to our friends at Hestra Job Gloves. Hestra's been doing it for 85-plus years. They make comfortable, warm, awesome gloves. What's up, man? How you doing? Visit www.hestrajob.us and use code DNVRJOB. You can get 30% off your next purchase. Anyone looking to supply their team with high-quality work gloves at a bulk rate can email Josh Jacobson at josh@hestrausa.com.
I brought my pair, man.
I was going to say, I think we're all ready for it.
I gave Coach Prime his, too.
Oh, yeah?
Love that.
Hey, shout out to Hester. I don't know if he packed them or not. I wasn't there when he packed, but he has them. I'm wearing mine.
Short sleeves with the gloves on is certainly a look.
It makes me feel like one of the snowboard bros at A Basin in late June. It's like, I just shredded my T-shirt, bro. It's not that cold.
And then shout out to Game Time as well. If you're trying to get into the game tomorrow out here in Utah, check out Game Time. Sign up with the code BUFFS, BUFFS, and you can get $20 off your first purchase. Not just games, concerts, events, whatever's going on in your city. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code BUFFS, BUFFS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Cam, Silmon-Craig.
What's going on? How y'all
What's
doing?
up, man?
What's up, man? Great
Sharks
to see
don't
you.
sleep, man. Sharks do not sleep.
Nah, at all.
How was your Thanksgiving, bro?
It was great. It was awesome, man. Had a great. It was the first time being away from home for a minute.
Yeah.
It was good, though. Got to spend time with Coach Natchez, so it was very good.
Nice.
What'd you guys do?
We just chill, watch the Cowboys play. We ended up watching Mississippi State, Ole Miss play after that. We just
Egg
chilled
Bowl.
at the house, though. And ate, yeah, definitely. Went and watched the Egg Bowl. Chill, man, relax. You know what I'm saying? We've been practicing all week. It was good to sit down for a minute.
So, like, speaking of practice, Cam, of course, the audience and my co-host asked me how practice was this weekend. I was sharing with them that when you put everything in context, there is a schematic and work effort to win this game. No one is sitting there saying, oh, it's the last game, we just chilling. Like, when you watch practice, y'all were practicing.
No, definitely. I mean, you got to finish our thing was finish how we start. So the whole week we just been trying to we have nothing to lose. Like, we have nothing to lose. So we have everything in the game at this point. So, I mean, it's no use to holding it back or trying to you got a whole year to relax and, you know what I'm saying, recover and get back right ready for next year. So we're going to put everything on the line this weekend. Wherever the cards lay, that's what they're going to lay.
How much is the run and preparing for the run a part of playing Utah?
What you mean the run?
Like the way they run the ball. It's a team that is so focused on running the ball.
I mean, when you say Utah, you know what I'm saying, that's what you think of big physical guys run down here. I mean, but at the end of the day, bro, it's all about what's inside you, what's in that chest. Honestly, I mean, you can be big, you can say you're going to run the ball, but me mentally, you're not just finna run the ball through me. Like, that's just how our mentality have to be. So if we come out there with that mentality, you're not going to be able to run the ball. I guarantee you that.
Love it.
Love it, man. Looks like you guys are going to be playing against a fourth-string quarterback. You played a lot of talented quarterbacks this year, but what's the challenge of playing a guy who you don't really know too much about?
We watched some film on him. He's a pretty good guy. I mean, if you make a lot of times you can make a quarterback look better than what he is by you not doing right. I mean, a lot of times this season we've made quarterbacks look better than what they actually are because we wasn't in the right spot. So a lot of stuff we gave was on our end. So we're just gonna do our job and make his job harder. I mean, make him make plays.
And speaking of being in the right spot, being where you're supposed to be, doing your thing, You had the opportunity this week to get a good shout out from Coach Charles Kelly, defense coordinator.
Definitely.
What did it mean for you to be singled out in front of the room with your coordinator saying this is a guy who does it the right way?
I mean everything. Coming in where I came in, not playing. I mean, not starting. Coming in.
Yeah, because these two voted against you back in August.
Trust me. I remember.
We did not.
No. I remember that start lineup came out. I remember it. But yeah, I mean coming in.
I voted for you.
Yeah, I see your comment.
Yeah.
I see everything. I just don't speak on it. I see it. But yeah, so we coming in, just not being a guy. I mean, honestly, me being honest with myself, I feel like I wasn't prepared to start TCU. Just to be honest, I mean, if I'm being honest with myself, so me not playing, having to grow into that role, honestly, just getting up to the speed, and it means a lot coming from Coach Kelly. Coach Kelly's seen a lot of DB. He tells us all the time he got like 33 DBs and drafted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if it comes from him, it means something to me. So I just try to stay focused and keep doing what I'm doing because apparently I'm doing something right. So that's the biggest thing for me.
Follow up to that, like you say you can acknowledge going into TCU you weren't ready yet. Mm-hmm. What took place individually, your effort between TCU and when the light switch happened?
Man, honestly, it was kind of a time thing. I mean, we had a lot going on coming in. I mean, we had a lot of new guys. I was trying to see where I was into the rotation, fit myself in. And to a point, I just said, forget it, man. Go out there and play and do what you got to do, dog. And,
I appreciate you saying forget it on the air because that's probably not what you said.
I would have said forget it, trust me. But it was at a point I just flipped the switch and realized who I was. I mean, because coming from Jackson, coming here, like me and Rod Wood had kind of had the same experience. Like, we came from small schools where we was the guy, like, we was able to run around, play how we wanted to play, make plays, and I had to come in and play inside Coach Kelly's system, so it was tough for me a lot. But when I learned how to play my game inside of his system, it worked. It kind of worked out for me and gave me freed me up and let me play my game more.
I'm curious, when you watch, you said you were watching the Cowboys, watching the Egg Bowl. When you watch football just as a fan, what are you watching for? Like, are you trying to just, like, zoom all the way out and just be like, I just want to watch the ball and be a fan, or are you watching certain things?
I mean, it's tough. It's tough watching football and not putting yourself in that position, especially when you're watching an NFL game. I mean, if you're watching an NFL game where you're not seeing yourself in them shoes, you're in the wrong sport. So that's what I sit and watch the games. I like to see what the defense run, and a lot of times, I mean, just being around wonderful coaches like Coach Mathis, Coach Kelly, like, that's just how they wired us to think. Like, when we see football, we have to think this way. Like, so when we was watching Dallas Cowboys game yesterday, I'm looking at the DBs like, Coach Kelly said we were supposed to be on the same level. So why they on the same level? So, you know what I'm saying? It's just little stuff like that. You try to pick up on everything. I mean, because a lot of stuff, Coach Kelly always tell us, like, find you one person that's had did it and look at him. Yeah. So.
And he done coached some guys that's done it, man.
Nah, definitely. So.
Are you going like Tony Romo on it too, where you're like, like single on the outside, they better watch out over the top?
Sometimes. I mean, a lot of times I like to enjoy the game, but sometimes I can't help it when I see certain stuff. You know.
What's the biggest thing you've learned about yourself this season, Cam?
That I'm really him.
Yeah.
I really can play. I really can play anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I mean, coming in, I had that mentality, but I'm not a guy that likes to talk about it a lot. I mean, I kind of like to show people and show myself, and that's why I think Coach Kelly really respects, because I'm not a guy that sat around here and yelled and said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Mm-hmm. But I really just came out with that swag and just made it happen.
So speaking of that swag, we got a game to play tomorrow. I know you're going to do your thing. Mm-hmm. But when we get to the offseason, because I saw this happen at Jackson State, I saw the media vote you, say, second team all-conference instead of first. Yeah. And you came back with this chip on your shoulder and made them apologize. I want my two friends here to vote against you again.
Please.
That way they fire your ass up again.
Please.
And next season you just – so please, do it for me. Yeah. Don't do it because you mean it. Just to set my guy off.
Nah,
be like, no, man, I'm not voting for him.
I watch that video all the time, bro.
See? You hear? He said you watch that video all the time. Get motivated, man.
Use the one that don't talk about Jackson when I had when I caught the pick against in Jackson. You came to me and asked me, you know what I'm saying, what's going on, and I had told you, like, they picked against me. I watch it all the time. It keep me humble, man. A lot of stuff like that keep me humble. Like I make sure I stay humble. I find a way to always stay humble. That's just big for me. I find something to the Nick pick about. So that's big. I mean, I feel like I'm blessed. Like, we just left the Utah field. I mean, I'm sitting out there in Utah, like, I'm crying, bro. Like, I tell my mom, like, I'm blessed. Like, I'm blessed to even be here. Like, even though the situation ain't what it is, you know what I'm saying? The season haven't went how it won, but bro, I'm extremely blessed. Like, I'm happy to be here. So every time you see me, you're going to see me smiling because, man, I could have been anywhere right now.
My man, Seven, man. Cam, we appreciate you coming by.
Appreciate
man.
you.
Before you go, I have to set this record straight because I said
No. Hey,
just hear me out.
Try to throw the rock behind your head. I seen it.
I'm not changing anything, but I just want you to know this. A couple weeks ago on the show, I said I don't own a jersey of anyone on the team, but if I had to get one, I would get Cam.
No, you know the crazy part about it? I was so disappointed in you as most because before the season, I'm watching him.
Yeah.
He said, Cam might be my favorite player on the team.
Then when it came time to vote,
I said, "Oh, no way!" It's all love, though, man. I understand.
they hit me to the side when I tagged you, and they said, "Man, you shouldn't have tagged him, man. We didn't want to be mad." I said, "Man, I'm firing my guy up."
Nah, man. Everybody
I know we'll get him going.
Everybody had their opinion, man. It's all good.
Appreciate you coming by, man.
And Trevor did his thing too.
No,
absolutely.
Yeah. The list wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong. The list wasn't bad, but appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, Cam. We'll
Thank
see you back in Colorado.
Y'all just remember, sharks do not sleep. You're dealing with a shark right there. A shark don't know what day of the week it is. Shark ain't like, all right, it's Tuesday, I'm going to do this. No, a shark is a shark every day, man.
I appreciate that Cam can dish it back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
That's why he's a
He's
legend.
a gem, man. Shout out to Breckenridge Brewery. They've been doing it for 33 years. It all comes down to their love and passion for making good beer. Made with 100% renewable energy. Try some of our favorites: Avalanche Amber Ale, Mile High City Golden, the Fun Slinger, Strawberry Sky. I heard some bad things about the Strawberry Sky. Are they stopping making it?
I don't know. It's not looking great.
Wow. Get it while you can, then. Check out the beer locator at www.breckbrew.com to find a brew near you.
Jake's out here breaking beer scoops.
That's what I looked at. Like, you broke that right during their ad. Like, that was like,
Well,
Jake.
we don't have it at the bar.
It's all just rumors. I don't know.
I mean, it is out of season, I guess, so.
Yeah.
Shout out to Olipop as well. The new kind of soda that can help improve your gut health. It's got 9 grams of prebiotics in every can. Tons of great flavors, including Neely's favorite, red.
Shane, I told him brothers don't do flavors, we do colors. Yeah. I want red Kool-Aid. Like, I don't, like,
Use the code.
so I want red. I don't have red Olipop, though. What did I get? Like the kind of lemon lime?
No, you got red.
On the show I have
You got
red.
clear.
But he got me. No, it's not clear. It's like it says like lemon lime or something.
Yellow.
So I got like 12. I've probably knocked about 9 of them back, man.
Let's go.
Use the code DNVR20 for 20% off your next Olipop order on drinkolipop.com. Olipop can also be found in over 22,000 stores across the country, including King Super, Safeway, Walmart, Target, Whole Foods, and Sprouts. Shane Cokes joins the show.
99 problems.
What's up?
Shane Ollipops.
He does Olipop.
How's it going, Shane? How's your Thanksgiving, man?
Good. Well, I don't know. Thanksgiving was different this year because, I mean, back at Dartmouth, like, I would have been home for Thanksgiving by now and would have spent it with the family. Shout out to those guys, won Ivy Championship again also, too. So it was a little different, but I enjoyed it, eating with the team, being around the guys. So it was different, but it was still good.
And practicing.
Yeah, and practicing, I would say. Yeah.
Good stuff.
What's your approach kind of going into this last game of your college career, right?
Maybe. I don't know. That's the question right now.
I was just going to say,
He's
can you
coming
clear
back.
up your eligibility for us?
He's coming back.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Figuring that out, too.
Not willing. You just-
Figuring that all out.
Y'all look at me. He's coming back.
But I think the biggest thing is just finish for me. I think that should be the goal for the whole team, honestly, finish and don't give up. It's obviously it hasn't been the season anyone really thought it would be. I think we all had higher expectations, obviously didn't meet that, but I think at the end of the day it's all about how you finish and how you start, right? So everyone remembers the finish and the start. I think Coach Kelly said that a few weeks back, and then my dad always told me that. So just go out there, play as hard as you can. I mean, we truly have nothing to lose anymore, everything to gain. And going against a good Utah team, a team that's good but also very beatable at the same time, just going and playing against someone can beat in every snap and getting the win at the end of the day.
Okay, so just for clarity's sake, you do have eligibility remaining.
Yeah, I have another year left.
Isn't it, like, I feel like college eligibility, you should just know. Like, I remember when I was a kid, if someone's a junior, that means they got this year and next year. Now it's like so crazy. Like,
Yeah.
Can you even keep track of it?
No, I think the biggest thing was just like COVID. I think that was the real start of it, and with people and getting 6 years, 7 years, and then like if you get injured or so, like maybe getting even longer than that. But I think probably after my class, maybe a few more years, then it'll start to be back regular, just like red shirts and the medical red shirts and stuff like that.
For sure. So this week, I believe, Colorado has offered 2 players from the Ivy League to potentially transfer here. I'm curious what your advice to those guys would be about, coming if you would recommend, coming here from the Ivy League and what that transition was like for you.
Man, I would say to those guys personally, I think, obviously it's going to be different level, different competition, but I also say, like, we played good competition on that level also. We played Harvard, we played Yale, and then what I think was a guy from Penn, and then I think D-tackle from Yale. I think Clay Patterson, I forget the other guy's name, Joey something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think, like obviously Power 5, I guess Big 12 next year, all the glitz and glamour, what it is. But, I mean, at the end of the day, they wouldn't give you offer they didn't think you could play here. And, I mean, you've already done what you did there, so do the same thing here.
Love it.
Love it. I talked to Coach Kelly, defense coordinator, Coach Charles Kelly, and he talked about the emphasis this week, the necessity of stopping the run. And, of course, the front always gets blamed or the credit for it, even though that ain't really how football works. But that's the optics of it. What's been the focus for you guys in your unit on making sure there's an impact on stopping the run, playing ball on their side of the line of scrimmage?
I think for us it's just the little details at the end of the day. I think we've, at least from what I've seen, our last few games, especially after the bye week and after Stanford game, I think the D-line has come a long way since that first half of the season, stopping the run. I mean, you saw it against UCLA, you saw it against Oregon State. So I think just keeping that same trail going, but also just like focus on the little things we miss. Like we'll have a few great plays here and there, and then we'll mess up this one little thing, and then they'll break for a run. So focusing on those details, making sure we're perfect in everything we do technique-wise and fundamental-wise so that won't happen.
How frustrating has that been, not only with your personal acumen, but being a leader, in that unit, that you guys will rattle off 6 perfect stops or plays in a row and then give up 2 plays that total over 100 yards?
It's hard. It's hard to watch. It's hard to be out there. That's all you can say. It's hard. I think it's just like I said, just focusing on little things and make sure it doesn't happen. But I mean, at the end of the day, obviously, mistakes are going to happen. I mean, they practice too, right? Yeah. I mean, they go throughout their week. They have a game plan. They know what we run. They have a plan for us too. So, obviously, they're going to get a run here or there. But I think when you get those big runs, it's just like if you would have did this right, if you would have corrected this mistake, it wouldn't have happened. So, just focus on that this week has been our biggest thing.
Just as a leader, what has the vibe been in the locker room kind of the last few weeks, and what are you trying to do to keep everyone on track to, stay focused?
I mean, obviously, it hasn't been as what it was. I mean, just given how the season's turned, with injuries to certain players and stuff like that, just having a little more of a downer in the locker room. But I think the biggest thing is just keeping us focused and making sure people don't quit. I mean, at the end of the day, love this game and cherish it for all it is, because for some of us, our seniors like Todd, Zay, other people among them, like this is your last college game. And I mean, after that's NFL, and then you don't know how much you have guaranteed there. So I think playing for those guys and then just playing for yourself, like always finish, always making a play, always just continue to get better is the biggest thing. So there's no reason for you to quit.
I'm looking at some of the scores of games that you played in last year. It's 14 total points, 25 total points, 27 total points. Do you miss kind of playing in those games?
Yeah, those were times, man. I'd say, it's different, right? I think the Ivy League, is a great defensive league in itself, and then just how we played, under Coach Dobbs and Coach Brooks, like that was the pride and joy of that team, and especially with the D-line there, just keeping that same consistency and that standard. I think that's what we're trying to build here. I think UCLA game, Oregon State game, like we've had close games this season. Obviously, we've had shootouts too on that same question, but I think, the goal of this season and obviously going to next season is to keep that same standard, keep pushing it to where we have close games like that and to where you can depend on the defense, where the offense is having a down game or they're having a slow start. I think that's what any defense needs to be, because defense wins championships at the end of the day.
Well said. Over the season, you and I have had the opportunity to sit down and have some one-on-one conversations about what that looked like, what really happened, what we're really accomplishing or not accomplishing. As a defense, we can take out a couple of games this season, but there were just as many games, actually double that amount of games, that woulda, coulda, shoulda ones. How aware are y'all as a unit how close you are to truly being dominant regardless what the scoreboard says?
Extremely aware. I mean, always come back that Sunday or Monday and watching the film we get back home. You just see it and it's just like, damn, like,
yeah.
How did I miss that? How did
That's
we
what I
mess
say when
this
I
up?
watch it, like, oh, man, like that one play.
It's frustrating at the end of the day. But I think as frustrating as it is, it's just like when you see it, it's like, okay, it's this little thing. Like it's not like just being completely dominated out there and just being brutalized. It's just like, okay, we made that mistake. We gave them that. So understanding that it's on us and not them, I think, is the silver line at the end of the day.
That's because, guys, that's one of the things I wonder. Like when I sit back and watch the film, my first reaction is I get mad. It's like, damn, like that one play could have changed the game and we were right there. But then I also, when I look at the final score and look at the stats, look at the time of possession, like, man, we are 2 plays a game from being Alabama or Georgia statistically in defense. Like we're already leading the nation or top 10 in the nation in a lot of categories, but you take away these 1 or 2 blunders per game, and it is astronomical difference what the numbers would be. Like again, you had one game where you gave up, say, 270 yards running, where 2 of the runs were 100 yards.
Yeah.
And if you take that away, you're holding somebody to less than 150 when you win in the game.
Yep.
So I just kind of look at it like the half-full standpoint, like, man, we're right there.
Yeah. So I think, just having that in the back of mind, just knowing that, like, we aren't a bad team, we aren't a bad defense. It's just the little mistakes we keep making, the little details that we keep missing is our problem right now. And then when we fix that, will definitely be something to mess with.
Particularly this weekend next year, right? Mm-hmm. Sorry, RK. Right? No, we talk.
You talked about the vibes kind of just taking a hit over the course of the season, and that's obviously natural with the way things are going. Do you think that last week, though, was a little bit of like a wake-up call just in the sense of, okay, like we can't let our guard down at all because we don't want that to happen ever again?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, last week was definitely a game we let get out of hand quick, I think. That score they had on offense, the kick return, and another score on offense, defense level score, it just got out of hand. And I think to your point, like that kind of caused it, like dang, like season over, like we didn't accomplish our goal, like dang, they're starting to score, they're starting to run up a score on us, like shoot, just trying to get out of here. And think that's what happens when you have that mindset. You just kind of give up and you just let them win the game. You just give it away to them. And I think just seeing that, I think it just opens our eyes that we can't have that mindset. I mean, we shouldn't have had it in the first place. But, I mean, it happened. That game happened. That's in the past. Now it's on the Utah, understanding that, hey, let's go out and win this. Let's put everything into this last game no matter what happens because, hey, it's the end of the season. We got everything to gain from it.
Especially for the older guys who, we talked about this could potentially be their last game. Are you guys aware of the whole potential of a 5-7 team getting to a bowl and that sort of thing? Has that been talked about?
No, it's definitely been talked about. Yeah, I think we've talked about that, and that's also in the back of my mind. Like I said, like we have everything to gain from it. I mean, being a 5-7 team, making a bowl game, and letting this game be the deciding factor. I mean, it puts it all on us, everybody on the team, offense, defense, special teams, and then for those guys like JD, Taj, Lenny, Zay, Rod, for all of them, it's like. This is your last college game. I
like how you didn't name yourself. Good job.
Like, I mean, it's a long journey. It's a quick journey. I mean, I remember for me at Dartmouth, I didn't know if that was my last college game, if I was going to NFL or not. Just the emotions during that game and pregame at the end of the game. Like, it's a special thing. It's a sad thing, but also a celebration. So just ending on the right note for those guys, I think, is the biggest thing.
Feels like since the bye week, you guys have just been more sound, much more comfortable on defense. I mean, you've had a few one-possession games, Arizona, Oregon State. Just what changed after the bye week that allowed you guys to settle in more?
I think it's just understanding what happened in Stanford game in that second half, just how we kind of gave the game away, so to speak, to them. I mean, also credit to them also. I mean, they won that game. They worked hard that game also. But I think just understanding where we failed that game and then going through that bye week with that focus of being better and really taking that step to be a dominant defense, I think we that bye week, I think, is what helped us. And then going to UCLA and seeing it happen, going to Oregon State and doing it, I think those were two, like, games that, like, we saw ourselves like, okay, we can do this. We can really do this against two really good offenses.
Yep. Coach Prime kind of talks about, or he's been talking a lot about how there's been progress with the program. What's the progress you've kind of seen since you've gotten to Boulder?
I think it's been a lot of growing up. I think, obviously after our first 3 wins, I mean, we're at the top of the country, top of the world. I think, that loss to Oregon, loss to USC, and then obviously what happened after Stanford, I think, put us down a little bit. Also just helped us understand that, like, there's going to be ups and downs during the season. Not everybody's going to love you. And then with that comes working hard every week, no matter who's behind you, who's against you, and just building a true team and brotherhood from that standpoint.
Man, you teed it up perfectly, golf analogy for RK down there. One of the things I have noticed about this squad, and I mean the entire team, not just your D-line or the defense, there have been some times where one group has put the other group in a disadvantage. You look at the last game, 3 and out, defense, but then offense stymies, special teams gives up a score. There's been situations where one group or another could point at one group and go off. But this team has not done that. You haven't seen Shedeur criticize the offensive line. You haven't seen the defense and offense cussing at each other, the special team. How has that chemistry developed in the locker room where it's still a total team effort, win or lose, and no one's blaming somebody else?
I think it's just something over time, and I think it also just goes to the credit people we have on our team. I mean, we all love each other. Obviously, some people are close with each other than others, but there's no bad blood between anyone, especially in the D-line room where I'm at most of the time. And I think that just goes to show just how close we are as a unit. Understand that everybody's made mistakes. Everybody's given up a play or two. So there's no reason to get on them about, we understand that we'll get it back later. We'll do better that game. We'll do better that play. We'll do better that next series.
Hey, that's 99, man. Shane Cokes.
Yes, sir.
Thanks a lot, Shane.
All right, Shane, we'll send you
I know
off,
it's getting close to dinner time around there.
Yeah.
And nephew like Neely, we don't miss meals. So.
Can't do that. I got to keep this weight.
Can't do that. And looking forward to see you perform tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
And as well as next year. Go Buffs.
Go Buffs. Appreciate y'all.
See you, Shane. Thank you, man.
Shane.
Hey, one of these things, and I'm saying this as you walk off, going on now. One of these things about this new era of college football, you have to recruit your own team back.
Hey, I like Neely, the recruiter.
You can't just wake up and be like, all the people that's coming back are coming back. You got to encourage people, man, to come back.
Well, and we have one of the best recruiting head coaches in the country, too.
Oh, man, absolutely.
Not the best.
Only one with a gold jacket.
Yep.
Love it.
All right,
Would love to have Shane back next year. That's a guy who came here from Dartmouth, and I think the transition has been something that he had to get used to.
Sure.
But over the course of the season, he has made more plays. And I think you give him another year with Coach Kelly, another year in the strength and conditioning program of a Power 5 school.
Absolutely.
And I think he can be a player for you next year.
And I tell you, one of the things, guys, that I have tried to, talk to him about over the season is that the way this defense is designed, whether it is from Coach Kelly or from Coach Sal, D-line coach, it's not about individual stats. It's about being where your assignment is and forcing a play where you want it to force to, which means there are going to be games where a guy doesn't get 4 or 5 tackles. And so you'll look at your numbers and be like, oh, I'm not doing what I could be doing. But what the NFL, GM, scouts, player personnel people know is he's doing his job.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to be in position and blow it, and it's another thing to be in position. The NFL wants guys who know how to do what they're supposed to do, not just chasing stats.
I mean, at least half of defense is just being in the right place.
That's simple. That's simple.
Offense is a lot different. There's a lot more reacting in offense and, individuals making special plays.
Absolutely.
But
I love your football knowledge, man.
a lot of times
you don't just look good. You know shit.
Thank you. A lot of times when a defense gets gashed, it's not because the offense called a perfect play. It's because someone on defense got out of position.
Missed tackle or something, yeah.
There are times where you call the perfect play and,
Sure.
you tip your cap and move on. But most of the times when you give up big plays because someone's out of position. And then other times when a guy makes a play, he made that play because the rest of the guys around him did their job, and their job was to funnel the play to him.
And that's what happens on Shane's side of the ball. You can look at his Dartmouth numbers, be like, oh, he fell off here. Like, no, his assignment was different here. He's forcing something that way. And I think so many times when people hear Coach Prime talk about tough, smart, fast discipline with character, on that discipline part, you're thinking about frat boy antics, thinking about DUIs and getting in a fight at the bar. That ain't the kind of discipline he's talking about. He's talking about what you're talking about. Do your job.
Discipline.
Be where you're supposed to be no matter how bored it gets. It's third quarter and you haven't made a play yet. Still be where you're supposed to be. That discipline.
And that's what I thought Smoke's tweet was about.
Period.
Selfish play is trying to do something for yourself, not the team.
Yeah, selfish is showing up to a meeting late. Selfish is making the bus wait on you because you were doing who knows. He was talking about that. But people want to make it more than what it was, turn it into something else. And he was spot on with what he says. We could be a much better damn team if there was a little less selfishness in the locker room.
Yep.
I think getting Shane back would be huge for this team, not just because he's a leader and a starter on defense, but as he said, they've offered 2 Ivy League guys.
Yeah.
If they bring them in, what better guy to learn from how to adapt to CU and also the Power 5 level than Shane Cokes, who just did it this year.
Totally. Absolutely.
Jake, you're brilliant.
And, I mean, you can't make a living off of bringing Ivy League players to Power 5 football, but I think every coach in the country would say they'd like to have an Ivy League transfer on their roster.
Dude, I mean, they're smart, obviously, but look at the offers that these guys have gotten, too. Both Slackman and Patterson. I mean, they're getting legitimate Power 5 offers beyond Pac-12.
That's the funniest thing because you tweet out that they offered this, one of these guys, and then someone responds like, "Oh wow, I thought they're really getting the Louis luggage from Penn," and it's like, well, buddy, why don't you go look at who else wants him?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I bet your team that you're coming from to hate on us. I bet your team offered it.
Man. They said the same thing about Shedeur and Travis coming from Jackson State, about Cam Silmon from Jackson State, about a Shane coming from Dartmouth. Like, talent is talent, man. And we have an excellent staff at evaluating talent.
Yep,
I agree.
And a lot of these guys, not to go into a full Ivy League tirade, but a lot of these guys could have played at like I'll just throw out a random example. They could play at Kansas State.
Yeah.
And maybe they have an offer to be a walk-on there or something along those lines, but they get the opportunity to go to a Dartmouth or a Penn or a Yale.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, if there isn't an NFL for me after this, I got to take this opportunity to get an education from there. And then these guys who are transferring in are saying, okay, I actually might have an NFL shot. Now I have this Yale degree in my back pocket. Let me go give it a shot in the Power 5. And if not, cool, I still have this to move back on.
For sure.
Absolutely.
We have anyone else showing up?
Coach Hart may swing back by. He peeped in for a second and gave a thumbs up, but we'll see. I texted him, let him know we were still on.
All right. Well,
you got some reading to do.
I do. Shout out to our friends at Shady Rays.
You guys didn't get my joke really quick about instead of Shane Cokes, he's Shane Ollie Pops.
I did hear it.
I did not hear that.
No, I heard it.
I didn't hear that.
I did that. Like,
okay, I wasn't sure if you
caught what I was putting down. Okay.
Shout out to Shady Rays.
Trying to get him a deal.
It's cold outside, but the sun is relentless. Make sure you're covered with our friends at Shady Rays. They're durable, extremely clear polarized optics as well. If you don't like your Shady Rays, you can exchange them for free within the first 30 days. They are running a crazy sale right now. Their Black Friday sale goes through November 30th, so don't miss out on the best deals for shades, snow goggles, and prescription sunglasses. Go to shadyrays.com and try yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people.
Hey, that's crazy, man.
And then shout out to us. We're having a Black Friday sale too. Go to DNVRlocker.com. Insane deals there. I think you can get the Nate Landman shirt for like $6 or something like that.
Yeah, Nate Landman's balling for the Falcons.
He is.
And you can get like 50 shirts for $9.
Yeah, you can get the hoodies, all this stuff.
There are a couple shirts on there that you can get for 99 cents. Like if you just need a shirt to sleep in, they're nice and comfy. Get it 2 sizes too big. We got to clear some inventory.
And then shout out to Breckenridge Distillery, the world's highest distillery, founded in 2008. Most widely known for their blended bourbon whiskey. They also have their Broncos Blizzard. That's their new vodka commemorating the first white alternate Broncos helmet. Me too, man. Also shout out their Riki seltzers.
I know you love vodka because like those buckets in Arizona in your eyes.
Those were tequila. But I do love me
vodka. No, we have vodka.
Oh, I'm saying, I'm more of a Breckenridge bourbon guy.
I mean, I just like clear liquor. I don't know.
All right.
You're gifted.
Let's finish this show so we can have some.
Check out the Riki seltzers as well, man. Those are delicious. Breckenridge Distillery products are available in all 50 states. Shop your local retailer or visit BreckenridgeDistillery.com for home delivery of award-winning Breckenridge spirits anywhere.
Hey, man, shout out to Alyssa and RG for coming up with this set.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like they did the damn thing, man.
Next year,
Always do.
Well, next year we'll be from the bus, hopefully. But if not, next year we just need some some
little wall traveling art with us.
Yes, to just stick on a Buffs logo and a DNVR logo.
Prime players then, I guess, while we wait.
I love how the liquor bottle just slid in there again.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she's on it over there, man.
Always.
It's like the saloon slide it down.
Yeah. I bet you probably can't find a place like that here.
Nah, we're not allowed to have fun out here.
Puta.
Prime players then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Hey, man, look, you're in charge, man. You drive the show.
I'm just trying to. I don't know if Coach Hart's 2 minutes away, 10 minutes away.
I don't know, man. If he comes, we'll pause. If he gets here, we'll do what we got to do.
All right, prime players. Who wants to start? Offense,
man. I'll make it quick for me, man. Give me Jimmy Horn Jr.
All right.
I think that he has flashed, and we know what he can do. And we got to go into this game believing it's the last game. And Jimmy's one of those guys, Florida boy, wants to make some noise, man. Give me Jimmy Horn.
Love it.
Junior.
I think that this is going to be an old school looking football game.
Okay.
If you didn't like Iowa, Nebraska today, which I happen to love.
Exhilarating.
It was exhilarating.
So you're about to pick a running back then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to tune into this one. Now, I don't know if it's going to quite be 13-10, but I think you're going to see a lot of ground and pound from both sides. So I'm taking Savion Wilkerson. He's
that
a
was
guy.
your dark horse.
No, I thought it was his offense.
I have Mikey Harrison for your offense.
Okay. Well, same type of thing.
This happened to me last week. I love it. Just pivot, man.
I'm flipping those two, actually.
Okay.
So
That's
Mikey
fair.
can be my dark horse. Savion is going to be my offensive player. I think he's going to actually get a lot of touches. I'm going to guess he leads the team in touches tomorrow.
All right.
Dude, I'll say it again on our last pregame show. Not our last show of the year, of the season, but our last pregame show. Man, I always wish that y'all's picks come true. Like, I got what I pick, and I love it, but when you pick your, I'm like, man, I hope he's right.
Yeah.
Let me know what you think of this one then. I'm going with Omarion Miller.
Wow.
He has been quiet.
He
hasn't had anything since USC.
See, you don't tell us your picks before.
He doesn't.
So, I could have done that, and if I didn't tell you guys, you wouldn't have sat there and tried to correct me.
I don't know what you want me to do.
So,
I'll just send you the list next time.
No,
then.
like, here is the last show, man, and you've done that every damn show. Like, we verbalize ours. Alyssa types it in. You like DM yours to her, and we never know what you're picking. So, like, you could be absolutely wrong right now. We can't say shit because you didn't tell us.
Because I just like to share my picks for everyone at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Anyways.
he might have wrote down Shernette Estes.
No. we don't know.
We don't know. He flipped it.
No. I just think we need to carry some momentum into the offseason, and I think Omarion Miller is going to play a big part on this team next year, and I would just love to see him have a big game.
Let me tell you why I hope you're right. I'll tell you when we get to my dark horse, but go to defense.
Defense, I'll go first. I went with the guy that we had sitting here, Silmon-Craig.
Nice.
Another
and
guy.
that wasn't even a butter up. Like, that wasn't a kiss up makeup. Like, you.
No.
Yeah, you picked that before you got here.
Yep. I mean, this guy's just incrementally gotten better, or exponentially, really, throughout the season. He's going to be a massive part of this defense moving forward into next season as well. And as he said, he's him.
I love it.
I got to say, I love that. I just love that he saw that episode. I think he knows that we respect his game and like him, and he just likes to give us shit for it. But the fact that he was watching is cool to me, or that he saw the clip or whatever.
That was probably before he even came on the show, too.
Yeah,
No, it was.
Sure.
Yeah, it was.
I won't throw anyone under the bus, but I was talking to another show recently, and they put out their score predictions as a graphic every week.
Yeah.
And I said, have any of the players ever said something like, "Damn, you picked us to lose," after they won? And he was like, "No." And I was like, "Oh, dang." But, for us, anything we say, it gets heard.
Yeah, but, that's it, man. Like the team says, we stand on business. Like, we ain't backing up from it.
Yep.
And back when that happened, we of course, we had done shows together and knew each other and had established a vibe, but hadn't really done it, the three of us, with players yet. So you guys hadn't got to know Cam, and I knew him. So I knew how he was going to react to it. And so I was like, oh, let me make sure he sees it because it'll fire him up in a positive way. Like you can see, he still loves it. So but y'all picked Trevor, and look what happened to TCU.
Yep.
So in all season, so you weren't wrong.
He had the game-winning pick against CSU.
You weren't wrong.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Trevor and Shiloh were the starters at safety in week 1. So
you weren't wrong.
Yeah, I love it. I appreciate Cam. Next year when we do the prediction, I'm predicting him to be the starter at every position. QB1, give me Cam.
All right, who do you guys have? Do you remember who you have?
I do, man. Defense, I'm not going to forget this one because I'm going with a guy who's going out. Jordan Dominic, JD, has exhausted his playing, so this will be it for him. And I believe because he is the one guy in that defensive end room with Coach Nick that won't be back, I think he's going to be in position to make some plays, have a big game, man. So give me JD for a defensive player.
Great pick. But you also never know when he might turn over a couch cushion and find a year of eligibility.
Those damn things on those couch
They're
cushions.
everywhere.
I will say JD's been in college for quite a minute now.
Yeah, I think he's the one guy that when RK talks about how crazy it is out there, that it really is it.
I mean, shit, Cam Rising just got his another year after this. This is going to be his 7th year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is it for JD, though. I hope it ain't. I would love for him to be back as well because, man, what a beast we got in him.
Yep.
But give me JD to go out with a bang.
All right, I'm going Shedeur Sanders.
Nice.
This is a dude who, you want to talk about standing on business. You want to talk about playing for pride. You want to talk about any of those things. I know without a shadow of a doubt that if he sets foot on that field, he is going to empty the tank.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
That's why I picked him. He's going to bring it. He's going to be a dog. He's going to try and make plays by hitting people really, really hard, and it just might work.
I mean,
And here again, I ain't mad if you're right.
this is a game for him with how much – I mean, Utah's on a 4th-string, 5th-string quarterback, and they're going to run the ball damn near almost every play. He's got to be a heat-seeking missile coming downhill.
And he has been
There's
dislodging
one
that
thing
ball,
we know
man.
he can do, it's that.
Yeah.
And he can do a lot, but he can definitely do that.
Definitely. You going to tell us yours? Or we got to ask
No, I
Melissa?
already say Cam Silmon-Craig. Dark horse now.
That's right.
You go first.
I picked Syvion Wilkerson.
Oh, nice.
I just, like you said, I think that he's going to get a lot of carries.
It's Savion.
Savion, sorry. And I guess – so
You
he's
white
done?
Guys. No. He's listed as a senior, but he'll be back.
He's listed as a sophomore on the roster.
And that's where it should be because he has 2 years left.
But why was he doing senior day stuff 2
Because
weekends
the way
ago?
they calculate shit, man. Don't make me explain it, man. Like I can't tell you why Putin invaded Ukraine. It just fucking happened, man. Like shit. Don't make me explain this.
Anyways.
Sounded like McChesney over there.
I know.
Like I'm just like he's Alyssa, you know how he gets. He gives you this tone like he's a sophomore. I can't make it make sense, man. Don't attack me. It's
Oh, my God.
You're kicking pigeons again, man.
I just talked.
I'm just a pigeon trying to walk down the street with my guy. You kicking me.
That is a stretch.
He didn't even say anything.
Anyways, I think Syvion's come up a lot the last few weeks, and it's time to just give him the ball. What?
Yeah.
You said it wrong again.
Savion.
There you go, Savion. There you go. You say Wilkerson.
I think I could not agree more. They're going to give him the rock, and he's going to make plays.
Your dark horse.
My dark horse only happens if your dark horse happens. Not trying to predict one way or the other if number 2, Shedeur Sanders, is playing, but I would anticipate that should he play, he's not playing the whole game. So my dark horse is Ryan Staub, and somebody's got to throw the ball to Amarian Miller. So
Let's go.
I'm going dark horse with QB2.
Hey, if I'm Ryan Staub and I do get in there, throwing it up for 14 ain't a bad idea.
No doubt.
It just ain't. It's PI or he catching it, man.
Yep. I'll just ask this just because you picked Staub. If Shedeur doesn't play, is it going to be – do you think it'll be completely Staub, or do we get cold again this week?
I think that depends on Staub. At practice, and not just this week, I mean throughout the season, he has clearly been QB2. He clearly has a command of the offense. I do think that there are times where he overthinks himself as QB2, and you can't deny – AP, Associated Press, you can't deny – Gavin swag, and I think that's why you had a change last week. Like, hey, give Gavin a shot, just to see.
Sling it.
Yeah, because he's a gunslinger.
Yep.
He
threw a pass twice.
he caught it, threw it again. I don't care what the rule book says. I can throw it 2 forward passes. Staub knows the playbook.
Yeah.
All right. And then there have been some new things done for him this week. So we'll see.
Do we wait a bit? There's things to talk about.
Well, my dark horse is Michael Harrison.
Yep.
And the reason I have that is because I think if Staub were to play, looking to the tight end is often,
Nice security blanket.
yeah, exactly. Thank you for finishing my sentence. I wasn't
nice.
going to be able to do it alone.
Yeah. No, I'm visualizing it, man. That's a good pick.
Yeah, and then if 2 plays, which we're all hoping for, you still have a good chance to get Mike.
That's why it's a great pick. Like, it doesn't matter who the QB is, that there's going to be some connectivity there.
And some of the best plays in this playbook are to get the tight end wide open. I mean, Mikey's scored some of the easiest touchdowns of the season.
And he gets plays schemed open for him in the red zone.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they've done a great job of getting him touches in the red zone.
I love it.
All right. Well, one of the things I want to talk about, Kam Mikell.
Sure.
Or Mikell, I don't know how you. I've heard I've heard 3 different pronunciations for his name, so I don't know.
And I've
You
never
were so
heard him say
confident
it.
about Mikell. I even asked you. I was like, "Did you confirm that?" You were like, "Yeah."
Because Josh Newberg on 3 calls him Kam Mikell. But then I heard yesterday during the video, Kam Mikell.
Oh, and then it could be Mikell.
I
But
can't
it is
remember.
as a commitment.
It's
Yeah, it is.
a
We
know
massive
What
that.
it is the number 6 athlete in the country.
Yeah, one of the fastest recruits in the country too. Just a dog.
Both sides of the ball, like
Both sides of the
Travis,
ball.
and wants to emphasize receiver.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's coming in as a receiver, and then will, I guess, work some at defensive back and flesh that
Sure.
part of his game out, as opposed to Travis, who was the other way around.
Well, and we know Coach Prime's rule on this. You become dominant on one side of the ball, you can explore the other side. So we're learning that he's going to come in and try to be dominant receiver, and then hopefully, help this team out in the secondary as well. And I mean, we're talking about the number 6 rated athlete in the country. Like, this dude is for real. This dude.
I'm
is
sitting here
special.
smirking because I'm thinking about Travis, Kermani, and Cam in the secondary next year.
Be crazy.
2 Cams.
I mean, that's not even factoring in the guys that are going to come in from the portal.
Yep.
Shit.
Well, and then, I mean, we can go on about Kam Mikell, but something that Coach Prime said at the coaches show on Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever, and it's something we talked about in the lead up to the season, were the scholarships and how he didn't use them all. And he brought that up, saying we've still got 7 to 10 extra scholarships for this next year.
Yep.
And given, I mean, we know they're going to work the portal.
And if that doesn't tell you that Coach Prime wasn't emptying the chamber for a one and done, show at Colorado, that he's always been thinking, for
Absolutely.
the long term here.
Well, that's what he talked about. It's the whole book he gave Rick George, basically, and that was part of it, was he wanted to save some scholarships for year 2.
And people who watch us know that this ain't something that just popped up. We have been discussing it since the spring, that the 3 of us, that since Coach Prime has been treating scholarships like salary cap and leaving space, and so you have some that's available that most coaches around the country don't have. And then what's advantageous, when people leave here and land somewhere else, it frees up the one they had. So like we're in a good spot signing wise.
Yep.
And I have to say this, there's more good news coming on the recruiting
Oh,
trail.
absolutely.
Man, it's unbelievable, man.
It's about to be Coach Prime's time,
Yeah.
literally.
Yep.
Look at Big Tank, man.
Buckle up.
That's
up?
I call
What's
you
up,
Big
Tank?
Tank on there. Little Tank in the cafeteria.
There's more good news coming very soon.
Yeah, can't
Yeah,
wait.
December's going to be a great month, man. A lot of announcements. It's going to be a bunch of I told you so's for the people like us, the believers. And it's going to be a lot of shock the worlds from the people who've been doubting us, because everybody wants to talk about, oh, look, somebody decommitted. Okay. Let's watch how many are about to commit.
They're not ready.
And just for those of you at home, if you want to have like a clap back for your friends who are like, I looked in Colorado's number 60 in the recruiting rankings. What's going on? And like, not everyone, if you're just a casual fan or you're not tied into the recruiting, you might just be caught off guard. Like, I don't know. What you want to do is go and search and sort by average rating. Mm-hmm. If you go average rating right now, Colorado has the highest rated class in the Big 12 next year.
Yep.
But because Coach Prime is going to attack the transfer portal so heavily, they're not going to have as many players. And the way that the recruiting rankings is a combination of how many people do you have, what's their rating, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Excellent breakdown.
Well,
So what Colorado is doing is bringing in a really great quality of high school player And then they're going to use the quantity to go out and try and build depth through the transfer portal.
I mean, absolutely. And the other thing is just look at the portal ratings. Like, don't just look at the recruiting ratings.
Yep.
Like, the portal ratings are the guys who are going to be coming in here to play right away.
Immediate impact players.
Yes.
And 247 now does a thing where it's a combination. Portal combined with high school.
They should.
Yes, they should. And that's where Colorado's going to really pop.
Yep.
Amen, brother. You preaching. Is that E. Dewey Smith down there or is that RK? Because I'm talking about you because you're preaching. Like you were down there preaching, man. You just broke that thing down.
I was just excited to see Pastor Smith.
And cuss at him again?
My boy.
Go out one more time with a cuss?
No, the air is clear.
And,
Actually, there was never any air to clear.
That's the best time to mess it up when it's clear. Like, you got to be habitual, man. It's like Jake is with yelling at people.
Not enough people saw that video.
Yell at people.
Jake, you do yell at people.
I've never heard anyone say that until you guys tell me that. I talk too aggressively.
Jake just accidentally yells at people randomly.
Like when I first met you, I said, I think he has Tourette's. I just chalked it up as that.
That's not true.
The other thing Coach Prime talked about on the coach's show, he was asked about Coach Sapp, and he basically said Coach Sapp is coming.
Yes.
I mean, another gold jacket, and he's on the coaching staff.
It's crazy. That is crazy. And would be a huge asset to the team. Just an all-around football guy, a guy who knows football at an extremely high level, and a guy
see
who
that name?
can
I do.
make it.
Blue is me. What does it say, Jake?
Happy Thanksgiving, bro. Thankful for your support and vision. Can't wait to see you here. He said, Happy Thanksgiving. Can't wait. My Bart Scott voice. Let's go. Bart Scoot is what he typed.
Yeah, he said
I know what he's saying.
He meant Scout.
I know. Can't wait.
That's awesome. And, I mean, as a recruit, remember when we had Shane Cokes on and he started talking about getting to meet and talk with Warren Sapp? He literally, sat up in his chair.
Yeah.
His face started glowing. His eyes got big.
And that could be on a daily basis next year.
Crazy.
Well, Coach Prime told the story again about Sapp and the D lineman in the hot tub and how he's coaching in the hot tub, basically. Like, the guy, and something else Coach Prime said that I don't think a lot of people consider about him or Coach Sapp, because they see the name and they look back at who they were on as a player. But when you're a great player at the game of football, you've got to be so tuned in mentally and instinctually to be that great. Yep. You don't, in the NFL, you don't get by just off raw talent alone. It's got to be, honestly, mostly mental at that point. You have to know what's coming, and you have to know how to get around the guys who are in front of you. And when you're able to do it at a Hall of Fame level, you do it everything like that.
And how to be a professional.
Yeah.
Warren Sapp didn't get to where he got to by going to meetings late. And not just watching film when it's film time, but watching on your own. That was one of the conversations that Coach Prime had, when he FaceTimed another gold jacket in Ray Lewis. Like, hey, man, talk to us about your film watching. And he's like, oh, film with the team doesn't count. Film with my position group doesn't count. My film time is measured on when I watch film by myself. So you got what the team has to do a couple hours. You got what my unit has to do a couple hours. None of that mattered. It's what I did on my own. No. And when you get player-led teams and individual people like that who take it, and that's one thing about Kamron Silmon-Craig. Man, you go to the defense meeting on Wednesday nights, it's 12 minutes till, and he's sitting there by himself.
Yep.
And he knows, I really got about 8 minutes that I could come, later. And he's still there 10 minutes early just sitting in there. He does everything on a professional level.
That's what separates people, man.
I mean, it's kind of crazy to say, but film might be the single most important key to success.
Absolutely.
And I might not be the best person to say this because I rarely did it. But when you study for a test, really study for it, and then you sit down and you're like,
it's
easy. A, D.
Yep.
That's really what it is.
Yeah, it's easy.
If you have you can watch a team enough to know exactly what they're going to do. Now, there's always going to be one or two wrinkles that they put in, but I used to talk to Aqib Talib about this.
Yeah,
and I think people didn't think he was like that.
No,
but he's one of the most cerebral players I've ever talked to, and he was just like, all I do is watch film. I leave here, I go home, I watch film. I'm eating dinner, I'm watching film. The kids are getting ready for school, I'm watching film because I just know if I go out there and I watch that film, I'm going to get a pick.
Yep. And
I think a lot of guys take it for granted. And just on that preparation part, I think that is the biggest thing. You have, Deion Sanders as your head coach. You bring in a guy like Warren Sapp onto the coaching staff. It is so crazy to me, and it'll always happen. But there's going to be guys who just don't listen to what they say.
Yep.
And there's always going to be people like that. But the people that have greatness within them that listen to that, greatness will come out of them.
Yeah.
And, like Travis Hunter is a perfect example of this. Travis Hunter has greatness inside of him. Like, he really is him. But because he takes everything Coach Prime says as gospel, he's going to become great. Mm-hmm. And having those guys, and, you add a Warren Sapp, and they'll probably continue adding people like this to the staff over time. Like, the players have to realize that if you just take what they say and really apply it, you can really get wherever you want to go.
Yep.
Man, absolutely. When you look at – so let's take the Sapp situation. And it doesn't matter what he comes in as. Like, this is not about him being a D-line coach or an analyst or whatever. He can just be in the building. Mm-hmm. I don't care if he's helping with, he's a pastry chef downstairs. Him being in the building. Yeah, exactly. Him being in the building changes the temperature of the building and to have that connectivity. But there are a lot of folks who just understand, like what you're saying, RK, is like, I got to do those little things more. So attached to what you were saying earlier about the smoke comment, not watching film is selfish.
Yes.
Because it impacts those around you because you're not doing the best that you could be doing for the team. Mm-hmm. And there's so many nuances like that. When I talked to Charles Kelly this week, I asked him about, hey, look, is it tough this week to get people to lock in last game, nothing really to play for? He's like, Neely, man, not for competitors. Competitors don't know it's the last game. Competitors don't know it's like just the last week of practice. They are here to compete, and it's the same week after week. And so when you weed out people who don't want to compete, and as we start to build this team where it is super majority competitors, that's what's going to narrow that gap and get over the hump that you're not giving up Stanford. You're not giving up those one-score games with USC and others. It's going to be a difference maker, man.
What's the thing you always hear about the greatest of the greats? I've heard it about John Elway, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, whoever it is. They don't want to lose at anything. Video games, ping pong, darts. Losing to them is like a sickness, and they want to avoid it as much as they possibly can. And for those guys, if they were to hear a player, or there was a lie detector and a player admitted, the season's in the bag, it's over, like, I'm just trying to get through, that would drive them insane. Like, the thought of playing a game of football and not wanting to win it with every ounce of your body would make the greats sick to their stomach. And these guys have to, find that within themselves.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Super chats, I guess, then? Is Coach Hart coming?
I didn't hear back.
All right, let's just do this and get out of here then.
Let's do it.
What?
No, hey, man, I'm just glad you didn't yell it.
I just love you, man.
That's what I love. You know what I love about you? You don't even know.
I know. And now I'm self-conscious about talking.
So when you kicked at that pigeon, were you aware that you kicked at that pigeon?
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't trying to hit it, though.
No, excellent job of not trying to hit it. But he did it. And it's the same thing when he yells at people.
It's just, because I know you now, it makes it funny to me because you just accidentally say things in a tone sometimes that you don't mean.
Did I used to say things and you just be like, oh, shit, he's pissed?
Yeah, or like, did you see when Adam the other day tweeted, like, we have a young coworker who told me that I always sound pissed off in my text messages because I end every sentence with a period. Yeah. Like, I used to think that about Adam. I was like, damn, he's really serious about this because he's like, all right, sounds good, period. Like, if you do it that way, it sounds like, all right, sounds good. And then, like, you just now, you're like, all right, let's just do this and get out of here. And it's like, oh, damn.
Totally unaware of your tone.
Oh, my
But you're my Jakey Poo. Speaking of, as she gets ready for Super Chats, let me tell the world this. You're going to see it in the vlog, the travel vlog when it comes out. Uh-huh. But here's where we are. We're in Utah.
Yep.
And I've called you Jakey Poo.
Yep.
We are state tracking. My goal is to call you Jakey Poo in all 50 states.
It might happen next year.
We got California checked. We got Arizona checked. We got Utah and Colorado checked. Missed Texas because you weren't Jakey Poo then. We played TCU. But I am looking forward to next year, man, just putting some pins in the map.
We are going
If you want to look at this from Jake's perspective, Buffs haven't won a road game since you started calling him.
True.
Oh, no, that's not true. Arizona State.
I was about to say, we just ain't going to win then because I ain't budging off Jakey Poo. I told you, man, Poo in the hood. Poo is a nickname in the hood, man. That is like rank.
We'll check off Nebraska next year.
All right.
Kansas. We'll get to go back to Texas.
Yeah, make up for it.
And then UCF.
Florida. Man, that's all right, man. That map is going to look nice. It's going to run from California to Florida with Jakey Poo's face.
Everyone out there with a significant other can relate to this. I told Jake that next time he's in a long-term relationship, he's going to get in several fights because he accidentally said something in the wrong tone. And
Tone is everything there. Tone is everything.
All I ask is that you just text me and be like, dude, she's so pissed at me right now. All I said was like, I don't care where we go to dinner, but she thinks she said I was like so pissed that I don't even know what I said.
Because you yelled it.
Now you're making me look back at my failed relationships and like examine why they went wrong.
You really should. You really should.
All right, what do we got, Alyssa?
Someone also
chats.
did say in the super chat though that we haven't won since RK cussed at the pastor.
It's true.
Now, that one holds up.
Wait. No, it's
Not
not
at
true.
the pastor.
That
not
was
true.
the Oregon. Okay, we
Yeah.
did beat Arizona State, but still.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
Also,
yeah.
I have apologized and been forgiven.
But we haven't won since the apology and forgiveness, though. So it doesn't matter.
So should I do it again?
No, you should either cuss again or make a financial contribution. Tithing matters, man.
I'll put some money in the plate. The 5430 plate.
Man, shout out 5430.
Exile Rugby says Jakey Poo DNVR gear incoming.
It's got to be.
No, it's not coming.
No.
I want
Go ahead,
one.
Alyssa.
I want an exclusive one.
Okay, Mama Tia with a big super chat, $50. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
She says, hello, fans. Uncle Neely and the DMVR family. Mama Tia is in the house. Actually, I started to wait until tomorrow. Of course, I thought it would be important to say hi to you.
Hi.
Hello.
Mama T.
Thank you so much for your support.
Yep,
all
always
season.
comes through with the super chat support, man. Always positive in the comments. Stay strong out there.
Super chat from B Moore says, hey, Unc, I need that a custom jacket like that. I binge spend on Buffs gear.
Let me tell you this.
That thing.
Man's got his
goes-
face
Let
on
me
that
tell you
arm
this.
here.
Look at that.
Look at
Look at
this
that.
thing.
Look at that. Let me tell you this. MDJ Originals. Go to their Instagram, MDJ Originals. You know what? Go get your swag on, but you're not going to be able to touch what we rocking next season. Like oh my God, we got some Letterman stuff coming for this show.
Man, I know we have one more game, but I can't wait for next year.
See, the greats wouldn't. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm already getting fired up for portal season, bro. Just
I know.
tweeting out offers and stuff. I see the excitement's there. I know people want it, so
No,
it's gonna be fun.
I feel you. I would love to just somehow pull one out tomorrow.
But
It
you know,
would
man,
feel
it's,
so good.
it's once again, I know this is way different from the Letterman jacket plug, but it's once again just indicative of this team in this season. We absolutely can win this game tomorrow.
So
Why not?
We absolutely can lose this game tomorrow. Like, it's just who shows up and how we execute.
Neely's been saying it all year, just randomly, like from the start of the season. He's like, we're the type of team that would lose to Stanford and beat Utah. And so that's I feel like he's spoken that into existence. Also,
I appreciate you putting that curse on me, but let me tell you, like Coach Prime, why I had that thought process. It's what I see at practice. I can see a great practice Monday and Tuesday and lackluster shit Wednesday and Thursday.
Yep.
And if that happens in a quarter or a half of the game, you get what you've been getting. And until we can reach a point of consistency, you know, just across the board. But you look at some of your favorite teams, your favorite dynasties, favorite championship squads, there's just a certain level they don't fall below.
Mm-hmm.
They may have lapse in judgment. They may blow a play or two, but there's a certain level that they don't fall below. We've got to establish that bar that, you know what, we may F up here and there, but we ain't going down there.
Yep.
And we hadn't gotten there yet.
Also, today on the plane, there was a family in front of us who were Utah fans. And
You did very good not fighting them. You're maturing.
well, they didn't even know anything about football.
That's why you didn't fight.
Yeah, but
He wanted to make sure he could conduct the band.
they didn't even know that Coach Prime's son was the starting quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
And they wonder why they couldn't sell their extra ticket.
But-
like, you don't have enough knowledge for my buy a ticket. Really.
So there's a husband and a wife, and then their kids across the aisle, and they go. I'm telling the story to Jake because he drove here, so he wasn't with us. They go, yeah, this is our son. He's in the marching band. And without even a second of hesitation, Neely goes, oh, he's a conductor of a marching band.
And then he adds on it, and if you're losing, it'll be your band.
I think that's like my favorite clip of the season because you were feeling it, bro.
You were
on one. But
That was right. That was almost Crab RK level, Mr. Crab RK level. You were entering the phase.
I'm I'm working tomorrow, so that's not going to happen. But if they win, I might just walk down there just for good measure.
Conduct a band. And all of that came from somebody asking about a Letterman jacket. I love it.
It's true.
The flow of the conversation.
What's up, Alyssa? What do we got?
Another super chat from B. Moore said, Bucky was right when he said if we win this game, everyone forgets about everything else. We need it, man. Y'all, me feeling like I'm from Boulder? Y'all
Y'all
have
got
me
me
feeling?
feeling,
Yeah.
Is that my guy, B. More Samad?
I'm not sure. His profile's just B. Moore.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. Like, there's no one's going to forget, but it will change the tone of the offseason. Colorado got a win over Utah in the last week of the season. They finished 5-7. Maybe they went to a bowl game. I mean, there's a lot that can change with a win here.
Absolutely.
And everyone just this fan base in this community really needs it.
I'm beginning to really appreciate that I say absolutely just as much as Coach Prime says tremendously.
It's his favorite word.
I think I say
And Dern.
I think I say incredible a lot.
Incredible, tremendous, darn, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Jakey
a lot
Poop.
too, yeah.
Super chat from Marcus Guzman. He says, I live in Utah and love your puns. I hope your stay isn't too bad. I'll be rooting for Colorado Sco Buffs.
Go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.
And I regret quoting RG with Putah now.
Spencer texted me, and he just had an accidental typo, but he said, how's Salt lame? And then he corrected, and I was like, nah, you had it right the first time.
No, keep that. Keep that same energy, Salt Lane.
Okay, a few super chats from Big TZ.
Big TZ in the house.
He says, hoping for higher football IQ for next season. Sco.
Let's go.
His next one, anyone else looking forward to the documentary?
December 7th.
I am.
December 7th, and then it rolls out weekly from there. Should be 6 parts. First 4 are done. 5 is wrapping up now. So it's going to be, on Prime Video, and they're going to drop right before the Thursday night football games.
Ooh.
So it's
once
not
per week?
Yeah, it's not one of those series where you can watch them all at once.
I love that.
So it's going to be once a week right before the NFL Thursday night games.
It's great for us because it means we have something to talk about every time an episode drops.
Oh, yeah.
Rather than what everyone
did,
watches it all in one weekend and we got to do the whole recap the next day.
Yeah, what we did back at Jackson State, man, was like literally the next day after each episode, we did a show to recap.
Yeah.
Just talk about the nuances of the episode, the character development, because it's all real. Yeah, it's all real, man.
There's going to be a lot of stuff that comes out of that is illuminating, I think, that we're like, oh, that's why that happened or whatever.
Yep. Oh, my God, you nailed it. Because there's so many things that there's a lot of people, rightly so, wondering why such and so didn't play, why such and so didn't travel. And you're going to be able to go back to the week that you said that, and then you're going to see things in team meetings and locker room and practice to go like, oh, man, my bad. I was too hard on the coaches. I see why he didn't play.
Yep.
Yeah. So December 7th, man, on Prime Video, episode 1 of the doc.
Also to Cheeto, who says, you guys only read Super Chats, clowns. If we read every comment, we would be here until after the game tomorrow.
No, the show would just be comments. We wouldn't have guests. We wouldn't have commentary. We would just be reading chats.
So it's not –
the chat starts before the show comes on.
It's not like we're trying to create a barrier to entry. It's just an easier way to sort it.
Cheeto didn't really provide a good comment, so –
Okay, our last one from Big TZ. He says, will the South Road trip be documented?
Absolutely.
I'm sure it will.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man,
That's
Jackson, Senior Bowl, New Orleans, going to hit ATL in Pastor Smith's church. It's going to be a crazy offseason because there is no offseason.
There certainly is not.
No. Someone just said y'all going to be doing shows on how recruiting is going. That's going to be the show.
Yeah, we'll probably have to say this a few times over the next couple of days and weeks, but this ain't stopping or slowing down at all. We go 5 times a week.
Yep.
For us, and then we're obviously going to do as many shows as we can with Unc throughout the off season as well.
I'm still thinking we're once a week, huh?
If you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's roll with it.
All right.
Let's go.
Anything else?
There is no offseason.
No, not with this team.
Super chat from Deborah Scott. Nothing, just $20 super chat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then
Just help me with the mojo next time. Go 21.
Yep.
I'm going to throw the dollar in for this one.
Super chat from Monica says, love that the Buffs have my home team colors. Go.
Let's go.
Hell yeah. Let's go
Saints
Buffs.
fan?
Maybe.
I'm not sure. Possibly.
Also, there's so many teams
Oh,
out
yeah,
there
she
that
is.
are claiming.
She said, when are you coming to New Orleans?
There you
There's
go.
so
We will
many
be there.
teams out there that claim black and gold, and they're really black and yellow. But the Saints, that's real black and gold.
Yep.
It is.
Anything else?
That was the last one.
Sean with the last minute super chat says, y'all boys, let me know when y'all head this way. We got you,
will.
brother.
We will.
I love that dude.
Yeah, he's awesome. This show's awesome.
Yes, it is.
You guys are
Community.
awesome, man. I
you
know
guys
we're
are
gonna
awesome.
we're gonna do some more. We got another season show tomorrow post game, and then of course the weekly joint thing that we're gonna be doing in the what they call the off season. But let me say, let me take the moment to say this to you two on the final pre-game show, meaning show before game. It has been outstanding to work with y'all this season, man. You know, got here last December just like on a week visit. You know, did some media meetings then. Really got here January, so 10 months, 11 months of being here. And, man, working with you guys has, been, the highlight of it. I could not imagine my Colorado experience absent you two.
Hell yeah, man.
Hell yeah, my guy.
Absolutely love that, bro. Yeah,
Couldn't agree more. And I always say the best part of this is the relationships you make, and it's become a true friendship.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
I was telling Coach Prime, man, a year ago that I got the inside stuff. I'm with you. We're cool. I said, but one of the things I got to do, man, is I got to find, and I say this arrogantly, a jackass almost, I got to find a me. I got to find a partner there that has the same passion and energy, sense of humor, all that stuff. And what a blessing that it was the two of you, because
I knew what you were about to say.
I'm like Prime in the press conference, so thank you, Lord, for stopping me from saying it. But it has been outstanding to work with y'all, man. We got so many plans to revamp some things, do some things bigger, greater next season. People are going to be blown away. We ain't going nowhere.
One of the first meetings I had with Unc, he said something that Coach Prime always tells him is when you think you're thinking big, think bigger.
Yep.
And we are thinking bigger for next year.
Yep. Can't wait.
Insanely bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate you, Unc, man. You
all
helped us
good, man.
elevate this show to a crazy level.
It's all good. Y'all just wait. Big 12, here we come.
Yep.
Hell yeah. All
right.
right, let's get a dub.
Let's get a dub. Smash that like button on the way out. We'll be
Post
back
game
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Post game.
Yep.
Let's go Buffs.
Let's go, Buffs. You.